So, let's talk about one of the most controversial features out there right now, virtual gifts on the social platform Zocialized. Are they a genuinely heartfelt new way to connect with people? Or are they, just another cash grab designed to monetize our feelings? We're going to break it all down. And let's just start with this. A user, Jared, literally proposed with a virtual ring. And she said yes. I mean, right off the bat, this shows you that for some people, these little digital items can carry some seriously real, life-changing emotional weight. But then you have this, a one-star review from Marco, who says it just felt like a cash grab. He'd rather send a real message than a paid-for glitter emoji. And right there, that's the core of this whole debate. Is it real connection or is it just a transaction?
Okay, so to really get what's going on here, we have to take a step back. We need to understand the wild world that these gifts even exist in. Because though Zocialized is not your typical social media app, it's something else entirely.
I mean, just look at some of these features. We're talking ZID chip implants, a bond integrity monitor, full-on VR dates. The whole point of Zocialized is to blur that line between your digital life and your real life. And when you're in that kind of environment, you can see why a virtual gift might feel just as real as a physical one to some people. All right, so now that we've got the lay of the land, what are these virtual gifts actually? How do they work? Well, on paper, it's pretty simple. They're just digital items you buy with the app's currency, which is called Z points. And the whole idea, according to Zocialized, is to use them to show appreciation or celebrate something or just show you support someone. But here's where it gets really interesting. Look at this gift shop. It's basically an entire economy built around affection. A quick virtual high five, that's 15 Z points. But an elite status boost, that'll cost you 2,500. This isn't just a feature, it's a marketplace that puts a very literal price tag on different social gestures. So how does Zocialized actually pitch this idea to its users? What's the official story they're telling everyone? Their whole marketing pitch really boils down to 4 key things. They talk about personalization and using gifts during live events, which is cool. But pay attention to points 2 and 3. Gamified interaction and monetization for creators. They're not hiding it. They are openly leaning into turning our relationships into a game with points and badges, and at the same time, fueling that whole creator economy. But, that's the corporate line. What do the actual members, the people using this every day, really think about it? Let's get into the nitty-gritty. And wow, this just nails the 2 sides of the coin, doesn't it? It all comes down to this. On one side, people are calling it a beautiful way to connect. On the other, they're saying it's just animated stickers with a price tag. It couldn't be more black and white. So when we actually look at the data from a sample of user reviews, it's a fascinating split. Exactly half of the users feel positive about it. But a full 30%, that's a huge chunk, feel negatively. And then you've got 20% who are somewhere in the middle. So this is definitely not a feature that everyone loves. For the people who love it, you have stories like Fatima's. For her, these gifts are actually a tool for building real friendships. In a world where it can be awkward to send that first message, a little gift can be a great icebreaker. It's a way to show you're interested without having to say anything at all. But then you've got the flip side, the tech problems. Leo's experience here is so important. He paid for a gift, sent it, and it just disappeared. When you're paying real money for these things, they have to work. A glitch doesn't just feel annoying, it feels like you've literally been ripped off. Now here's another really important angle. Mullick doesn't even use them to talk to friends. He uses them to support creators he follows. And this taps right into that whole creator economy idea. It's like a virtual tip jar, a way for fans to directly support someone they admire, which makes that connection, even if it's one-sided, feel a lot stronger. And then you have people like Jules, who are kind of in the middle. She gets the idea, she thinks it's cool, but she's questioning the value. She feels like some of the gifts are just way overpriced for what you're actually getting. And that's a key point. When the price feels off, the whole thing starts to feel less like a nice gesture and more like a transaction. All right, so let's pull all of this together. We've seen the platform, we've seen the feature, and we've heard from the users. So what's the big takeaway here? What's the real price of connection in this digital age? At the end of the day, these virtual gifts from Zocialized are the perfect example of where we are right now. They live in this weird gray area between real human connection and straight-up digital commerce. And they work because they tap into 2 huge trends, making our social lives feel like a game and finding new ways to monetize our relationships with the creators we follow online. And really, that's the question I want to leave you with. As more and more of our lives and our relationships move onto platforms like Socialized, we really have to ask ourselves, what is the true cost, whether it's in dollars or Z points or something else entirely, of showing someone you care?